have seen in the last stanza that Dairy asked Mr. Lamb, does your leg hurt you? Mr. Lamb, tin doesn't hurt, boy. When it came off, did it? He says, the tin doesn't hurt. It doesn't give pain. And when it came off that time, he said, certainly that time it used to hurt. And now I mean where the tin stops, at the top. So he said, till where your this tin leg is, at the top. Mr. Lamb, now and then, in wet weather, it doesn't signify. He says, sometime it happens, it pains, but it doesn't signify. It means I don't give any attention or heed to this. It is not that much. Oh, that's something else they all say. Look at all those people who are in pain and brave and never cry and never complain and don't feel sorry for themselves. He said that's what all the people say about others. They say, look at all the people, those who are in pain, and they are so brave and they never cry. They even don't complain about their pains, and they don't feel sorry for themselves. Mr. Lamb, I haven't said it, but Mr. Lamb says, I never said this. I never said this, whatever the other people say. Dairy, and think of all those people worse off than you. Think, you might have been blinded or born deaf and have to live in wheelchair. He said, then Dairy said, think of other people. There's so many those who are worse than you. Maybe you could have been blind, you could have been deaf, or you could have been living in the wheelchair, or be deft in your head and rebel. Deft in your head means deft is actually the insane people, those who are mentally retarded people. Like you must have seen some of the people, those who are mentally disturbed, their head pops one side and the saliva keeps on falling from your mouth. So he says, maybe you could have been like that also. Mr. Lamb, and that's all true, and you know it. He said, yes, it's true. And you know what? It won't make my face change. Do you know, one day a woman went by me in the street. He said, nothing will change my face, but you know what happened one day? In the street, I met a woman. I was at bus stop, and she was with another woman, and she looked at me. He said, I was in bus stop and one woman was there. She was with another woman and she looked at me. And she said, whispered on me. So she said and whispered. I heard her. He said she was saying something to another woman and I heard it. Look at that. This terrible thing. That's a face only a mother could love. And they both were talking about my face. One lady was telling to another lady, look at my face. Only mother could love that. So you believe everything you hear. Then it was cruel. So Mr. Lamb said, it means whatever anybody says, you believe in that. He said, it was cruel. It was very cruel of them. Mr. Lamb, maybe not meant as such, just something said between them. So he said it was not meant in that way. Maybe they must be discussing within. Only I heard it. I heard. But he said, I heard it. Mr. Lamb, and is that the only thing you ever heard anyone? He said, this is the only thing you have ever heard. Whatever that women were thinking. There are so many things, plenty of things to hear in life. And is that the only thing you ever heard anyone say in your life? So there only this thing you have heard. Oh no, I have heard a lot of things. He said, no, I have heard a lot of things. Mr. Lamb, so now you keep your ears shut. Dairy, you are peculiar. So he said, now you keep your ear shut. And Dairy said, you are peculiar. Peculiar means you are strange. You say peculiar things, and you say the things also you say they are very strange. You ask questions I don't understand, and whatever you ask that also I don't understand. You are different than others. You are a strange person. You ask strange things. You say also strange things, and you ask the question which I don't understand. Mr. Lamb, I like to talk, have company. You don't have to answer questions. He said, I just like to talk to people. I want company. It's not that you have to answer all the questions. You don't have to stop here at all. The gate's open. He said, if you don't want, you can go from here because gates are open. Yes, but. He said, yes, but he doesn't want to go now. Mr. Lamb, I have a hive of bees behind those trees over there. Some hear bees and they say, bees buzz. He said, I have a beehive here behind those trees. And some of the people say the bees buzz. But when you listen to bees for a long while, they hum. And when you will listen to the bees for long, and their sound is humming sound. And hum means sing. And they sing. Everybody says the bees buzz, but I say for me they sing. I hear them singing my bees. And this Mr. Lamb, he even enjoys the buzzing of the bee. He said the buzzing of the bee is like song for me. Dairy, but I like it here. I came in because I liked it. When I looked over the wall, he said, I just came here because I liked it. I looked over the wall and I came inside. Mr. Lamb, if you would have seen me, you did not have come in. So Mr. Lamb said, it means if you would have seen me here, you would have stopped coming here. Dairy said, no. Mr. Lamb, no. It had have been trespassing. So he said it has have been trespassing. Trespassing means whenever you go somewhere without taking permission from anywhere. Mr. Lamb, that's not why. Dairy, I don't like being near people when they stare. When I see them being afraid of me. He said it's not like that, but I don't like to be with people. I don't like when they stare at me and they look at me and they be afraid. You could lock yourself up in a room and never leave it. He said you can do. Mr. Lamb gave him suggestion that you can do one thing. You can go inside the room and you can lock yourself there. There was a man who did that. Now he started telling a story about a man who did the same. He was inside the room. He was afraid, you see, of everything. So he started telling the story of a man to Dairy about who used to live inside because he was afraid of everything outside. Everything in this world. A bus might run him over or a man might breathe deadly germs onto him. So he used to think if I'll go outside, maybe I'll be dead in accident. Bus might run over me and maybe because of other germs, or a donkey might kick him to death, or lightning might strike him down, or he might love a girl and the girl would leave him. So many things, so many negative things he used to think. If I'll go outside, this will happen, that will happen, and I'll die. If I love a girl, she will also leave me. And he might slip on a banana skin and fall, and people who saw him would laugh their heads off. And he used to think that if I'll go outside, I'll slip on banana peel skin and people would laugh at me. And he was afraid of these all the things. So he went into this room. So he locked himself inside the room and locked the door and got into his bed and stayed there. He locked the room, he went to his bed and he stayed there. Because he was afraid of going outside. He was afraid of so many things which were outside. He used to think that I'll be killed by this and that and people will laugh at me, and so I will not go outside. Dairy, forever. Mr. Lamb, for a while. Then what? He asked, then what happened after that? So Mr. Lamb said, a picture fell off the wall onto his head and killed him. He said he was afraid of going outside. So what happened? He was inside on his bed. And then when a picture fell from the wall and killed him. Dairy laughs a lot. And Dairy started laughing. For the first time with Mr. Lamb, he started laughing after listening this story. You see, but you still say peculiar things. He said, you see, still you say peculiar things. You say strange things. Peculiar to some. What do you do all day? Mr. Lamb, sit in the sun, read books. You thought it was an empty house, but inside it's full of books and other things. He said, I sit in the sun, I read books, and you must have thought this house is empty. But it's not empty. There are so many books inside and other things also. Dairy. But there aren't any curtains at the windows. Mr. Lamb, I am not fond of curtains. So Dairy asked him why there are no curtains in your house. He said, I am not fond of curtains. I don't like curtains. Shutting things out, shutting things in. Because curtains stop everything coming in or going out. I like the light and the darkness and the windows open to hear the wind. He said, I like the light, sunlight, and I like darkness also. I like these windows to keep open and hear the wind. It means he likes nature so much and he likes everything around him. Dairy, yes, I like that when it's raining. I like to hear it on the roof. So Dairy also said, when Mr. Lamb started saying I like these all the things, so Dairy also said, I also like raining and I love to hear the rain sound on the roof. Mr. Lamb, So you are not lost, are you? Not altogether. You do hear things, you listen. He said it doesn't, it means that you have not lost yourself. Still you like something and you listen the things also. Daddy, they talk about me downstairs when I'm not there. What will he ever do? What's going to happen to him when we have gone? So he says, downstairs all the people, they talk about me. They talk about me, that what will happen to me and where will I go, these all the things. However, will he get on in this world looking like that, with that on his face? That's why they say. So these people keep on saying things about me. Look at his face, what will happen to him, this and that, so many things. Now he started telling these all the things to Mr. Lamb. First he told that I like raining and I also like the sound of rain. And then he tells Mr. Lamb about the people, whatever they talk about him, that what will happen of him, look at his face, and etc etc. And let's see what happens after that.